I've been steampunked.
Oh, right in the wallet. So, one thing that came to mind in a couple of levels ago when you were grabbing those three blocks and put the crow and the stones, the I was wondering what would happen if you got over there before your past cohorts and picked up a block that they were going to pick up.
It would cause them to have pressed the space bar, which could have caused them to put down a block or pick up the wrong block or do nothing.
Okay.
And then its game logic would have thought that it had block, and so it would do stuff like maybe make higher jumps because the weight was different and stuff. So yeah, it could screw things up.
Interesting.
This level, I'm pretty sure this is one of the ones I took out of the Johnny Test game. It's easy for me to play. The idea here is that you do these mirror images of yourself. So you have two guys, and the next time around I'm going to be on this button. Then I'm walking back off, falling down. And so my other guy, the elevators like alternate between controlling the other elevator, right?
Sure.
So I wait for them to get on this elevator. Then I make it move up. Then he's going to go stand on the button.
Yeah.
So you can do this with just two guys. You can do it with a lot more guys, and it gets really complicated. But that's the idea. A lot of these were like, I wonder what kind of like concept this would be fun to do. Like, I have to mirror myself. I have to predict what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, and account for that. Account for the movements. Like have the environment move it past you in a way that the past you is not actually moving.
Right. This level is based on, wouldn't it be super fun if there's a crumbling floor and you all had to synchronize stepping on it exactly at the same time? Answer, no, it's actually not fun. And I took this level out. It's really finicky.
So with Chronotron having been out there for a while, what
Oh no. No.
What sort of feedback has there been? Like basically, in the cruel depths of the internet as they are.
Yeah.
What sort of I'm sure you've gotten plenty of constructive criticism and praise to offset any amount of terrible negativity that may be thrown out there. But what are some favorites if you've come across
I think like the best criticism is more difficult than it needs to be. It's controls could be better, like a little less finicky, and the fact it does desync, and that's a problem. When it works and it's fun, but you kind of have to like compensate for it just to some extent. It's a Flash game. It's not perfect. But the least helpful criticisms are from people that just like, this game is something like this game, therefore I hate it.
Those, this is bad and you should feel bad.
I think this game predates that meme. Right? That was the last episode of Futurama before it got canceled on Fox.
Wow.
And that was the Fry's opera. Yeah, I died. So one thing I would definitely do here, if I was to redo this game, would be to let you skip some of the levels and not have to play them all to win. Like, you beat a level and it unlocks several levels, and you can always you've got a couple skips you can play.
Mm-hmm.
So this one's basically I think a good puzzle platformer game should let you figure out the puzzle and then execute that puzzle pretty easily once you clearly know how to do it.
Sure.
And some of these levels are not good because they don't do that. This one is hard to pull off.
Yeah.
It's easy to figure out the puzzle, and then it's hard to actually pull off. Come back. And You can imagine I actually have a lot of practice at this level, and I'm not.
Whoops.
Okay, there is some way you can be a little bit later because they take time to fade out.
Mm-hmm.
I bet I don't want that.
But taking out too many,
yeah,
leaves you with not a lot to come back to.
Yeah, exactly. So the fewer you take out, the better, and especially like if one of your other guys didn't take one out, you don't want to.
Yeah.
Because you don't remember exactly which ones you used to go back. I also am not that happy with the fact that it's all one screen. Like I don't want to be there. I didn't want there to be scrolling because then you couldn't see what your other guys were doing. But
Sure.
it definitely caused some of these levels to be cramped.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the content in the levels to feel kind of cramped. So there's a duck button in this game that has absolutely no purpose, except for. And I noticed when you were syncing your video and your audio, you like move and go 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what this is for. You can duck and then like okay, so whoa. You can duck just before you jump, for instance. And it's like okay, here I ducked just before I jumped. So
Yeah.
There's also a clock in the corner that you can use to synchronize too.
Well, someone got
Yeah,
stuck.
that's not going to be good for him. I'm curious what'll happen. Well, I'm trapped here forever now. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that
I put
building a
cheats.
mechanic around time travel is just tricky. Yeah,
It was actually just a lot of fun, really. Like,
well, sure.
there was levels I threw out, but I mean, in general, I had a blast making the levels for this game.
I would expect so. But also I would expect so 'cause I'm a programmer.
Mhm.
You're a programmer.
Mhm.
One of the best things about being a programmer, at least to me, like my favorite part of it is like problem solving.
Right.
Like that's basically what the whole gig is.
Right. Exactly.
So it's like I have a problem, I have to come up with a creative solution.
Right. And you know that
And-
there is one and not just one.
Yeah. And so I imagine that, I mean, like, coming up with a way to represent time travel in a game, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So coming up with a creative solution to that is exciting, especially considering it's not a frequently used game mechanic.
Right. Yeah, I made a prototype to this game where you were a red. Hey, come back. Hey, I'm trapped. Hey, come on. You're a red rectangle, and grabbing, basically, a prototype of this game got the mechanic right away.
Mhm.
It worked, and the puzzles worked, and it was really fun immediately. I knew it was going to be fun, a good game.
And then that game became Thomas Was Alone.
And I didn't give myself a lot of time, so yeah. A lot
Better
of that,
be fleet of foot.
a lot of that there. Yeah, and you see, like, it's so cramped up there.
Mm-hmm.
So the mobile game was going to be designed to, and maybe we'll still do it. We'll see if we have time. You could zoom in and out with pinching. There's a larger map.
Sure.
I really want to have like branching storyline kind of thing. Yeah, that was lucky, huh? Just got to get home. I'm done. I did it.
Nice.
Oh, that
Well
level.
done.
Take that level out of the game. Okay. Because of special relativity is impossible for lasers to beam further in time.
Okay.
Light travels at a constant speed.
Yep.
So if time is stopped, it still travels at the speed of light. Come on, of course.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
That means is that if you pause, you'll still trip the laser wire.
Yeah. He's not going anywhere.
Apparently, I sat there talking for a minute. Hey, I was reading
Oh yeah.
because of special relativity. Let's open this for a while. This is one of those things where, okay, so I'm going to go doop, doop, doop before I move off.
Sure. So you've got like a little warning.
Yep.
That's actually pretty clever.
You can use it. One of my favorite things when this game, like people would like make YouTube videos of this game, they wouldn't bother playing it. They would just throw like raves. They would see how many guys they could get on screen, and I purposely made it so that there's no limit, right?
That's awesome.
Like, obviously, you could design this game puzzles around how many. Ooh. Slid off the top. That, well, we'll see. That might cause a problem later. Obviously, you could design puzzles around, like, only a certain number of guys are on screen at a time. You can
Sure.
do this time travel a certain number of times. I didn't want to do that. I wanted, like, you could solve the problem with as many guys as you want, multiple ways to solve it. Good luck if you have too many guys on screen because they will screw each other up. So it's not really, like, overpowered or anything. But it does mean that you can throw raves.
Which, I mean, that's a very important aspect.
Jump up. Nope, dude, that's cute. I don't know if you gave me time to... We'll see. We'll see. And that's not even the circuit to end the game. That's the pause circuit. So if I walk through that thing, I'll trap myself.
So, speaking as a Let's Player to a dev, what are your thoughts on Let's Plays?
I love them, and I think I'm super happy whenever anyone plays a game I play. And I think Nintendo is insane for...
Yeah. Well, you saw their most recent solution is a rev share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Why? They don't... Why do they have... I don't understand. I don't think that they have... Yeah, so you need the pause to get through that door.
Okay.
Once you're in there, you can drop that crate on the button, get out. I'm just gonna wait and let these guys do crazy stuff because I didn't get the pause and back. Oh man, that should technically be a BRX. But I'm gonna get away with it. I'm gonna get away with it. Ha! Take that, time travel causality. This one's on a timer. If you let that bomb explode, it will
no longer be holding down that button, right?
Right, and that will make your time machine inaccessible.
It pulls out from underneath.
Yep. Let's watch.
Boop.
So there are other levels where you have to do something within a certain amount of time, but you can use the time machine to get back. This one
is no.
Your time machine's gone. That's the thing that gives me power is gone. Luckily, it's not a big deal because there's plenty of time.
Sure. So, how, what kinds of, I imagine that this brought up a lot of design challenges. Was there anything that, really stood out to you in developing this that was, really, goddamn, beating your head against a wall for a while?
Yeah. When you pick up a crate, and a guy is supposed to ride on it, and it move with you, but they could also walk on it and move faster on the top of the crate or back and stuff. I made this engine from scratch. I didn't use a game engine. Flashpunk and Flixel did not exist when I made this game. Probably would have really helped. I'm gonna restart this one. This one you gotta no, I want to entirely restart. This one you gotta get up to that button. Get a bunch of guys up to that button, and then get a bunch of guys up here, so you can use more robots, or you can be smart about it.
And predict alternate between the two. Yeah. It feels like a deceptively simple game.
Yeah.
and that everything looks pretty straightforward, and then some of these levels are like, whoa, wait,
Yeah.
what?
And I have metrics in the game too, so I can tell how many people got. Every 5 levels there's a metric. And, every 5 levels you drop off the amount of people that bothered to continue. So I got a paradox there. That's not good. I'm not quite sure what I did there to get the paradox, but I think I had a guy in midair